Well, European Union leaders are preparing to discuss migration at Thursday's summit. Earlier meetings have led to few breakthroughs. Members are divided on how to handle the influx of refugees, and solutions are hard to find. CGTN's Mariam Zaidi has more.
Pain, suffering and sheer desperation. Greek artist Konstantinos Katages's paintings lay bare the never-ending horrors for those choosing to risk their lives to come to Europe.
Suddenly the refugee problem arose. Suddenly I learned that people are drowning in boats, pushed out of their homes or forced to leave. No one leaves their home if someone does not force them out or if he cannot stay.
Despite the EU and its member states intensifying efforts to prevent arrivals and outsource migration responsibility to countries outside EU borders, arrivals into Greece and Italy remain high. Italy's new populist government is saying no more and has started to turn ships carrying migrants away. The European Parliament's Italian president says that if no coherent migration policy emerges from the summit, Europe will be in danger.
We need to decide without delay. We need to stop the illegal immigration. We need to work a lot with Libya. We need to invest money in Libya. And long term, we need to invest money in Africa. And then we need to start also the debate inside the European Council, the relocation of the refugees.
One compromise that has the backing of some member states is the idea of having regional disembarkation centres. What it entails is having North African countries screen people and separate economic migrants from refugees. Now, the UNHCR said that they're open to the idea, but already Libya and Tunisia have said that they're reluctant to play a role. And the chair of the European Parliament's Civil Liberties Committee isn't convinced. He says such policies work against those seeking asylum. Instead, he backs efforts to reshape the so-called Dublin rules, which require migrants to apply for asylum in the first EU country they enter.
The European Union, however, does have to react when a big country like Italy is becoming so populous, because I think that threatens the whole of the European Union. So realistically, something has to happen. But what can happen, I think, is on the table, and it's the Dublin reform. And I think it's a very strong one, and I hope that this is the route that the European Council takes, not the lower road of these kind of offshore asylum centres. If they do this, they will have an unworkable, inhumane policy which will collapse.
The European Parliament members have long called on member states to reach consensus on reforming the EU's common migration and asylum rules. In draft guidelines for the EU summit, the EU Council President Donald Tusk has invited Austria, set to take over the 6-month presidency of the EU, to simply continue to do more. Mariam Zaidi, CGTN.